for Nelson, at least
Hello?
as of right now.
At this
What do you got,
contest,
Jake Tapper on?
Yeah, I'm watching the fucking election, man.
That either the polling has just completely been off, or there have been people who said they were voting for Gillum, but ultimately did not.
And now, we about to blow the roof off of this bitch. It's time for the Wiener Shake Show. Wiener Shakers, Wiener Shakers.
Bonsoir.
I want you to be dumber when we're recording.
Oh, that's damn good, baby.
To get involved, call or text 302-729-3664. Now, Gregg Wiener and Imran Shake.
How many precincts are reporting? That's the key.
Yeah, I know it is. A lot. We're 91% of
Oh,
all
fuck
votes.
me.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, Gillum.
And then you got this fucking this white guy with the silver hair with his touch screen on CNN.
Blitzer.
And he's driving me crazy because I don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
Wolfman Newsman.
No, it's not Wolf Blitzer. It's not even Wolf Blitzer. It's
that
some
other guy.
asshole.
Yeah,
the guy with the
yeah,
touch screen, and he's cocky
like,
with his suit.
He's like if Wolf Blitzer and Anderson Cooper had a love child.
Yes, exactly. So
anyway, sup, man?
Hey, man.
Oh, I see you danced around stealing my bit. That's good.
I avoided it like the plague.
Listen,
because you're very intimidating.
That's great. Good for you. Listen, great.
Yeah.
We got a big show tonight. Big day. Today we record this on a Tuesday, November the 6th of November, the 6th day of the month of November.
Yeah.
The 9th month. No, the 11th month.
What?
In the year 2018.
By the way, you should tell people that you're hosting the show so they get what's going on.
Well, I was getting to that before you interrupted me.
I mean, it's taken you forever already.
You know what's funny about that too? I was gonna say before we even talked about how I'm taking the reins on this episode.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna try because I have a very slow, meandering delivery.
Do you?
I mean, we can agree on that.
Do you?
Yeah. I don't know if you know. You probably haven't noticed, Greg, but I do.
Oh.
And I was gonna say, I'm gonna go an episode where I don't do that. I respond immediately. UCB has a catchphrase: "Don't think." I'm not gonna think. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna process. I'm just gonna answer.
How many dicks have you sucked?
12.
There it is. Yeah. Okay, good. Well, you know what? I do the same thing, and it's typically when I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I do it on the radio, and I do it on this, and it's when I'm really not fucking 100% behind what I'm talking about, and that's when things get slow and labored, and it's because you're thinking too much, I think.
Well, I mean that's good improv, right? Good improv is you answer immediately. You don't think about it. You just do it.
Exactly.
You do. You don't think you do.
Exactly.
Okay, all right, calm down there.
Just like I did right there, right?
Yeah, exactly, just like that.
Was that good, Imran?
Anyways, we got a big show, like I said, Tuesday, November the 6th, big election day today. We're not going to talk about that. Politics is a little bit boring. Nobody wants to hear about it. Hopefully everyone voted. Hopefully, as you listen to this, things went well, and there are Democrats running the country again.
I feel like you're ignoring the elephant in the room. We texted about maybe we should do election.
Literally.
You're calling me fat? Or are you referring to
a
Dick Jones?
Republican mascot is an elephant.
I make political jokes.
No, I don't know. I don't want to talk about it because I feel like, listening back, truth be told, I listened to our political chit chat and I was kind of bored. I was kind of like, I'm not doing anything. I'm just preaching to the choir. I don't
it's
know.
that, and you're basically, it's only boring, I think, because you're doing all the talking.
Well, I'm sorry, Greg, but...
No, listen, you're way more well-read and way more well-studied in all things politic, and I'm, you know...
A dum-dum.
I come from a more everyman approach. I'm not as you know, schooled in everything.
Smart. Right.
No,
School,
it's not that. Listen, I think we've established that I am highly intelligent. There are just certain things that I don't worry about. And tonight, I happen to be steeped in this fucking political race. And now you're the one that wants to make dick jokes. So
I know.
The tables turn every once in a while in the Wiener Shake Show. And
I'm a contrarian at my heart.
Yeah, yeah. And by the way, we're real quick. Fort Myers is fucking us in our mouths right now. It is so red. Lee County is as red as it fucking gets.
Really?
And it's of course it is. I'm not surprised. This douchebag with the silver hair and the suit touching the screen constantly.
Okay, can you stop watching? Turn off.
No,
CNN
I cannot stop watching. See, if Gillum wins, man, he's going to bring back the tax incentives, and we're going to have fucking things filming here again, and I can live above fucking subsistence level. You know what I'm saying? Thank you. I'm Greg Wiener. I'm running for Congress in 2020.
Did you hear that?
What, did you fart? Was that a real fart?
Yeah.
Wow. You're the host today, and you blew a fart. And by the way, that was really a fart?
Yeah, it wasn't one of my best ones.
No.
I don't really get good ones. I think I've got, like, cancer in my bolus or something. It
was really weak. You want to talk about farts? I can't stop farting in my sleep, and I fart on Tom Hanks.
Hot. She's probably into it, man.
She's not into it, and don't talk about it like that. It's so embarrassing.
What is the craziest thing she's into about doing to you?
Imran. I want to talk about how I fart in my sleep and I have no control over it. And I feel like with each fart, I am eroding the foundation of this amazing relationship. And eventually she's just going to be turned off. And I have a hard time sleeping as it is. Now I'm not going to be able to sleep next to her because I'm going to be tooting in my fucking sleep with that. So now I take Gas X.
First off,
what?
No relationship has ever ended because the partner farted a lot.
I don't know about that, buddy.
Second off, tooting. I'm just going to leave it that. I'm just going to leave it there. Quote unquote tooting. Now, back to the real question at hand. What's the craziest thing she wants to do to you that she does?
Sexually?
No, Greg, like on the weekends.
If you have listened to the 38 episodes we've recorded, and now we're in episode 39, as a host, part of your hosting duties is to touch upon the fact that we're part of episode 39. And I knew this was going to happen. I was going to end up subconsciously hosting because that is my instinct, as we have done now. This is our 39th episode. And I will not talk about what me and Tom Hanks do in the fucking bedroom, but I apparently...
Was that...
What?
Was that belch big time in me on my itty-bitty fart? Because that's messed up, man.
Abso-fucking-lutely. I bellowed it. I spread my arms out if I was a fucking opera singer, okay?
What thing does she request in the bed that you don't like to do?
Nothing. She has never, and this is safe, because I won't go into details. You know me, I'm a gentleman. There has been nothing that she's asked of me, nor I asked of her, that we've been like, no, we're not doing that.
Really? Not a thing?
Not a damn thing. Well,
okay.
No butt sex, but that's obvious. We don't even need to discuss.
Now, did you guys talk about, was that discussed? Was that kind of like hey, by the way, we've, boned once or twice.
Well, listen.
No butt stuff, okay?
First of all, every girl says they're not into ass sex right out of the gate. No woman wants to be viewed. Everybody's a fucking princess that rides in a golden coach with beautiful adorned white horses. Okay? They for the first 6 months they're Miss Priss. Oh, I don't poo, I don't shit. I don't fart. Poo, they don't do any of that shit. So, of course, they're going to say, no, I don't do butt sex. You want that, go somewhere else. So
you want butt sex?
I've heard it before. No, butt sex is not something you want. Butt sex is something that kind of just may or may not happen when you're fucking hammered out of your brains. When you don't drink, so you don't know that kind of wild inhibition.
Back up. Butt sex is not a drunken thing. Butt sex is an active thing dudes want, and sometimes chicks want.
Okay, but this isn't a gay romance. This is a heterosexual...
I said dudes and chicks. Well,
I'll tell you this. I certainly, when I'm sober, I'm not thinking about fucking Tom Hanks in the ass, okay? And when I'm drunk, we don't really actually drink often or get hammered. But if we were to, and we were to end up in coitus, who knows? And that's all I'm saying. Don't say, I'm not going to do this, because you never know, okay, Tom Hanks?
So you and Tom Hanks have not discussed not having butt sex, but
no,
it's on the table.
No, we've had the conversation, and if you listened to me when I talked before, I said yes. Every girl,
you did have
including Tom Hanks, I said, I don't do it in the butt. But, when inhibitions go and all of a sudden,
See, you're feeding me gravy, but really you're punching me in the balls. Because what you're saying, I don't understand what's going on here. Because you said you discussed it, and she said no, and you said no.
Right.
But then you're also like, she says she doesn't want it. You think she...
Because I'm pontificating.
You think she wants it. You think Tom Hanks wants the butt sex.
I'm saying that she doesn't know what she wants. At the end of the day, in a year or 2 or 5, down the road, who knows?
All right.
I'm not making any commitments.
No, why should you?
Yeah, right. It's never worked out before when I make commitments, so why should I make one now?
I usually let my paramours know right off the bat. No. Hey, listen, this was great. I liked what we did, but there ain't gonna be no butt sex. I don't like that. And if you're into that, that's on you, but we're not doing it. And I'll let them know.
No, that's romantic.
Anyway.
And you leave a sense of mystery as well.
Episode 39, opening up with the butt sex.
There's got to be a sense of adventure, Imran. And that's Gregg Wiener's Sexual Advice Corner. I'm Gregg Wiener. So go ahead, host.
So, a couple of things I wanted to talk about. First off, about Logan, the movie starring Hugh Jackman, Sir Patrick Stewart, directed by James Mangold.
I don't know about it. I haven't seen it. We discussed this. You should know this if you love me.
My question that I want to pose to you and our listeners is, if Wolverine indeed becomes cancerous or toxified...
All right, hold on a second. Before you continue on with this, don't spoil Logan. That is a movie I am definitely going to watch, and I will remember this because I have to edit this fucking episode. And so if this contains spoilers, you can't do it because you're going to ruin Logan for me because it's a great movie. I know I'm going to love it.
No spoilers, Poppy.
Okay, good. All right, Poppy. All right, Mommy.
But I'm not letting anything go by the fact that he's dying because of the adamantium in his body that's sickening him. It's like lead poisoning,
I don't know what adamantium is, and wake me up when you're done.
Well, I'm just curious if you think... Yeah. If someone has adamantium in their body, wouldn't they get sicker sooner? Now, I know he has enhanced immunity and it's constantly repairing himself, but then he'd be tired all the time, no? Your thoughts, Gregatan?
Yes. Being that I did study medicine in high school a little bit, I was an AP science major student. Adamantium is a toxic chemical that if it is in the bloodstream for longer than, say, a day or two, you are going to start to feel some of those adverse effects.
Right, that happens with adamantium. But what about adamantium?
Oh, adamantium? No, bad news bears, man. Poisonous.
No.
Vile.
So the premise of the film, Logan, then, is faulty, is not accurate.
Well, if you're basing that synopsis on my schooling of adamantium, then yes.
All right.
And I took all of that from the context of what you were just talking about.
All right, well...
What is adamantium? Is it a real chemical? Is it a real element?
It's a metal, and I actually legit do not know if it's real or not. All right, moving along.
This is going to be a short fucking show. Go ahead. Second segment.
I got a lot on the agenda here, pal.
Do you?
All right.
Do you have a Google Doc for me, host, Mr. Shake?
You don't need one. All right, just react. Listen.
Great.
And react.
Hey, listen, I'm great at that. Clearly, I'm batting 1,000 right now. I got jokes galore. Go ahead.
Now, one of the other things I wanted to discuss on this episode, actually for a while now, I brought it up in previous episodes, but we didn't really get to it, is that if you think about Wolverine's claws...
Jesus
right?
Christ. Yeah.
When they come out, they're much longer than his hand. Now, in order for when he retracts his claws into his hand, they're not telescoping. You don't see them, they don't shrink down. They don't collapse on each other.
Telescopic.
They're just straight blades.
Yeah, I don't think you're using telescopic in the right context, but go ahead.
Telescopic. It's when you take. It's one of those like the old school car antennas that they were telescopic. They would collapse out of each other or collapse in, or like those toy lightsabers.
Is that what telescopic means?
It can be used in that sense. Sure, why not?
All right. Okay.
So Wolverine's claws are not telescopic. They're just straight up blades, and they're always depicted as longer than his hand. If when Wolverine retracts his claws, they should go straight up into his forearm, because they're usually, like I said, depicted that big. So he can't, in retracted position, he can't move his wrist up or down, or left or right for that matter. Otherwise, he'd rip through his hand. What's going on there, Greg?
Why does this bother you so much? It's a fictional character.
Yeah.
I would understand if, say, you were the showrunner for a Wolverine series and you had to make sense of a scene that you're shooting because it has to connect to some other fact that has to do with this fucking Wolverine's claws going in. But you're not. You're just sitting in your room or on your toilet,
jerking off,
pouring
jerking off
buckets of mud butter out of your ass, and you're thinking about this.
Well, it's a question I have. Why has no one seen this before? Does it not bother you that every depiction of Wolverine, the claws are bigger than his hand, but then it restricts his motion when he retracts his claws? It's implausible.
No. You know why?
Why?
Because a man that has claws is implausible already. So,
I mean,
Potato, stupid question. Next.
Okay, moving on.
No. Come on. Argue your point, Imran Sheikh Esquire.
No. I didn't have a point so much as a question. I thought we could have a nice, genial discussion about it, but you've got,
I won.
Okay.
I mean, that's my answer. If you have a response to that, I would love to hear it, Mr. Sheikh.
I mean, you basically threw a fake news at me. Basically.
No, I did not throw a fake news at you. I threw logic at you, and there's nothing logical about fake news.
It's like saying if I was debating climate change and you were debating against climate change, and in order for you to declare a victory, as you had with our little Wolverine discussion, you'd be like, well, the Earth isn't real, so this debate is moot.
No, because climate change is a real topic. Wolverine's claws retracting into his bones or skin is fantasy.
His body, actually. His adamantium is wrapped around his skeleton.
Stop saying adamantine. Stop saying it. You don't even know if it's a real thing.
I'll stop saying it when you start saying it correctly. Adamantium.
Okay. I'm mispronouncing a fake element.
Okay, let's move on. We spent a lot of time on this.
No, I want you to concede that I was right and you were wrong.
I mean, no, because you didn't answer my question. You didn't explain how he's able to move his wrists up and down, left or right, with the full claws inside his arm.
No, your question was, we can roll back the tape if you want, does it bother me? Okay? And that's when I came up with my response. It doesn't bother me because it's not plausible, because a human being having claws is not plausible. So I don't continue to connect dots once I see claws come out of his hand. I stop. Okay?
Okay, that's a fair point.
Yeah, and I had to make it twice for you to finally get it. So go ahead, host.
Moving along. Let me just get my papers here. Hang on a second.
Your papers. What is this, 1974?
Let me just grab.
Like a journalist or something.
Get my topics here. Okay, all right. Next topic, moving.
I'm surprised. I am surprised that you didn't want to hear about how mortified I was and instances of when I fart in my sleep. That's not interesting really. To you. You'd rather talk about.
It's my show today, Greg. So let me take the wheel if that's all right.
Our show. You're just leading our show.
Yeah. Well, why don't you follow the lead instead of stepping on my toes? Okay, pal. Okay. So the second thing I wanted to talk about. Now, here's another thing. It's related to what we were talking about before.
By the way, good hosts don't say here's the thing. They just go into it. But go ahead.
So here's the thing. Wolverine's claws
Oh, my God. You already did this.
No, I did the thing about his claws being retracted and not fitting into his forearm. What I'm talking about is his adamantium. Now, adamantium, as you've proven you have no idea anything about, is a very heavy, dense metal. It's indestructible. It's like vibranium, you know? Now, the thing is, his claws are said to be 1,000 pounds each. Now, if you think about it, he's got 3 claws on each hand. That's 6,000 pounds that this motherfucker is lugging around, pardon my French.
Mm-hmm.
How is he not super strong? Now, I can understand he has super strength, and lugging around these 6,000-pound claws weighs him down, and so, you know, his super strength is kind of a wash at that point, because all of it's going towards lugging around these claws. What are your thoughts on that, Greg?
What was the question again?
Wolverine's claws
are 1,000 pounds each. Yeah. What's the deal with that? Is that essentially... Are you Seinfelding me right now? How does he walk around? I mean...
How does he walk around with those claws?
It's a halfway decent Seinfeld, Imran. Halfway decent.
I do a decent Seinfeld.
Yeah. We heard your Boston accent, your Ben Affleck. I'd like to do a show with Ben Affleck. Tell me to go get some more Siggy Butts down at the Packy.
Go get some fucking Siggy Butts down at the Packy, you fucking bastard.
I mean, that's pretty good.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Well, yeah, listen, don't sidetrack me, please. Can we stick to the subject at hand? Wolverine's claws, 1,000 pounds each, 6,000 pounds total.
Right.
All his super strength is going towards lugging these things around.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think he should maybe get rid of his adamantium?
Does the adamantium cause... Oh, God damn it. You've roped me into this goddamn discussion. Does the adamantium... Is it in his bloodstream? Or is it in his bones?
Okay, it's a metal. It's wrapped around his bones, man.
It's wrapped around his bones. Well, I think he's doing fine with it. How many movies has he made?
I want to say 5 or 6.
And he does musicals on Broadway, Wolverine, so I think the adamantium is good for him.
Well, I want to take a second here and separate the man from the fiction.
Keyword there.
Wolverine is a fictional character portrayed by Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackman does not actually have adamantium. And this goes not just for you, Gregg, but for all our listeners. Wolverine, Hugh Jackman does not have adamantium wrapped around his bones, nor does he have super healing ability or super strength or, whatever. But Wolverine, the fictional character, yes, he has adamantium wrapped around his bones. Do you think he should let Magneto rip him out of him?
Yes. Yes, I do.
That would make him a really strong mutant. A formidable opponent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I'm going to check that off the old list there. Let's see what else I can get here.
By the way, I informed Imran that he would be hosting tonight, but like an hour and a half ago. So, and may I say that his energy for episode 39 is exactly where I want it for every episode. He's active. He's thinking ahead.
Greg,
he's trying to execute something well. That's what I need from him. Go ahead.
Don't passive aggressively talk to me through the audience, please. Thank you.
Go ahead.
All right, I'm just going through my notes here. Okay, all right, here we go. Yeah. Colossus. Now, Wolverine and Colossus have this move called... I actually don't know what it's called.
Is this all going to be about comic books? Because I don't have any basis or reason to be in this conversation.
My topics run the gambit. They run movies, cinema, books, literature, graphic novels...
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Colossus has the ability... Wolverine and Colossus team up every now and then. I guess they kind of like each other. I mean, what is that? I guess it's kind of like us, would you say?
What, two titans of their chosen fields teaming up to create good in the world? Is that what they do? Because that's what we do.
Well, no. One's a short loner with a short fuse who hates himself, and the other is a giant Russian who turns into metal. So, yeah, I mean, the parallels are there.
Yeah.
do you think when they partner up, and why haven't we seen Colossus pick up Wolverine and throw him, which is a signature move in the comics? It's called something. I have it in my notes somewhere, but I can't find it.
You're just flapping the same piece of paper around the microphone right now.
No, I'm looking through my notes, Craig.
Right.
I know. You think I just sit around whacking it to photos of Sophia Loren and Jennifer Lawrence and Betty White when she was younger.
You know who I used to have a crush on when I was young?
Greg, nobody wants to know who you had a crush on when you were young. Can we please
Jane
stick to the topics?
Seymour.
No.
Jane Seymour.
Oh, that's great. Okay, can we get back to Colossus and Wolverine, please?
Go ahead. Don't we have to take a break? My back hurts.
Huh?
Go ahead.
No, there's no brakes on this train. There's no brakes on this train.
Mm-hmm.
Colossus and Wolverine. Mm-hmm. Why haven't we seen their signature move on screen? Go ahead.
Probably because it costs too much to recreate in CGI. And I'm sure it's been bandied about in the writer's room. But ultimately, nerds like you have fought tooth and nail against such a fight.
I mean, if they're going to do it, they got to do it right.
Well, yeah. 96% of the polling is in Florida, by the way. And it's 50 to 48.8.
Greg, let's not get with the boring details.
DeSantis is leading.
Let's stick. Oh my god, I just threw up in my mouth a little bit.
Did you really? Wait, did you really? Oh.
No, we're not going to talk about it, Greg. We're not going to talk about it. La 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 la. No, we're going to talk about Gambit and Wolverine.
Now, here's the thing. Oh my god. I just said here's the thing like you do. Okay. It says estimated 90% sent in.
Greg.
Just, come on.
90%? Yeah, that's a number.
96%. Shut it. I've been talking all day for money. And then I go and I click on Miami-Dade, and it says Gillum is in the lead in this precinct in Miami-Dade, and it's estimating only 87% polling in. And he's up by he's up by 20% Miami-Dade.
Yeah, well, that's his precinct. That's Miami-Dade County. What
right.
You're looking at where DeSantis is in the lead is the aggregate for all of Florida. So where all of Florida is 96 reporting in, Miami-Dade County can be 86%. Because other precincts are either 100% or more than 86%. He lost. It's as simple as that. Gillum lost. The racists won. I mean, it's as simple as that. This country is not going to recover from Trump ever again. We are headed toward a dark...
We've been in a dark place since a year ago today.
I'll tell you this. If Democrats don't win...
2 years.
Let me rephrase. If people don't stop voting for Republicans, the country will never recover. I say that not jokingly, not hyperbolically. I'm dead serious because you can't recover from this, man. Like every single day, liberties are being taken away, programs are being shut down, money is being diverted. You think? Mark my words, and actually, don't mark my words. Economists have said this. We are headed towards something akin to, if not greater than, the Great Depression. If these fucking when these tax cuts come through. Because, listen, man, this is like the biggest fucking crash that's ever gonna happen. The economy isn't gonna tank. It's gonna implode, dude.
From what? The election?
From Republicans passing this fucking giveaway. We are already, I don't know, like $3 trillion in debt, and we were in debt before, we were in bad troubled waters, but Obama pulled this. I mean, this is, again, I'm not making this stuff up. This is not my opinion. These are all facts. These are all numbers. Numbers don't fucking lie. You can look this up. Every time a Democrat in modern presidential history has been in office, the economy's done well. When Bill Clinton was in office, there was a surplus. When Obama left, there wasn't a surplus, but he took us from the disaster that we had from Bush and brought us close. I mean, we were below the baseline, right? Mm-hmm. Under Bush. Way below. Obama brought us back close to the baseline. Now, with Trump and his GOP cronies, we're going to sink even further. And we are sinking even further. And we are headed towards a giant depression. Economists have been ringing the bells. This whole thing about taking it easy on Wall Street, and deregulating and all that stuff, that's also bubbling. There have already been warning bells. I don't know the specifics, unfortunately, but there's a thing with the subprime loans and all that stuff that's still happening, still being allowed to happen.
Yeah.
And it's GOP, dude. Like, they're not out it.
I'll give you an example. I went and I incorporated. I made myself an S corp,
right.
And I signed up at the bank. I got my tax ID, did everything above the board by law. And the guy who opens the account for me says, "Would you like to apply for a business credit card?"
Right.
And me being who I am, I said, "Well, yeah, why wouldn't I?" I'm like, "But does my business have a social security number type thing?" And he's like, I don't even remember. It was a dumb question because I had no clue because I'd never started a business before.
Right.
So they ran whatever numbers, and I have decent credit, obviously, but it's not great. And since the great change in my life for the last year, my credit's gone down systematically because I'm...
Gambling debts.
No, not gambling debts, just debt that I incurred in my former life. Because
From betting on the ponies.
I spent money to try and improve a situation that was never going to improve.
Winning a horse race.
Birthdays, Christmas, vacations. Just constantly trying to make something work. And so,
Casino
anyway.
buy-ins.
All right. You make fun of real things. And then you talk about Wolverine having 1,000-pound hands with actual passion behind your voice.
I've got
People want to know this shit, Imran. People want to know. Specifically, like my mom.
I've got topics.
You're done. Anyway, the point is, I was trying to be serious. They offered me so much money on a credit card.
Yeah.
Blindly. I mean, I'm assuming they based it off of my credit score because I'm the president of Gregg Wiener Productions.
No, let me tell you why. Exactly. This is why when you go to college, there's, they have like first day or whatever welcome, and there's bunch of booths and stuff. Sign up for clubs, sign up for activities, sign up for yada, yada, yada.
I know. I went to college and I got a card. Yeah.
Exactly. The credit cards. You know why they do that? Because they want to sell credit cards. Now, I'm blaming this on credit card companies and banks, okay? Mm-hmm. Not the government. Credit card companies know they want to give cards to people with bad credit. They want to give cards to people who they know are not stereotypically responsible. Because when they default, they owe more. They owe more interest. And some people get away with like their debt, but some people don't, and they continue to pay for these things. Because, obviously when it comes to collections, you're fucked, right? So what they know that, let's say, Joe Freshman goes in. Joe Freshman is a typical teenager. He doesn't know what's going on. He goes to college and he gets a credit card. He racks up a bill. Interest. And they know that they can collect more on the interest because the credit card company doesn't make money off of lending you money, obviously. They make money off of interest.
Right.
So they want to get people to rack up debt because the more debt you have, the more interest they can collect and the more money they have.
And they know that you're going to pay it off, especially if you're older, because you want good credit because eventually you're going to want the house and the picket fence and the whole thing with the kids and the wife and the whole fucking bit.
And you push debt around and stuff like that. Now, listen, I mean, all of this to say, it's going to be a dark day tomorrow, it seems to me, and hopefully it's not when you guys are listening to this. It's not, and I can eat crow a little bit and laugh at this.
Yeah, you're really depressing me.
I'm sorry, man, but like, I've been through the worst election this country's ever had in 2016, and I don't see it getting any better, and it's just going to get worse.
You also talk about it in terms of just you. I, not we, these United States of America.
I don't know if you noticed, Gregg, but I'm a brown man. There's not a lot of protections for me going forward here.
Is that what worries you?
Yes.
Is that why you are
citizen.
so...
I am a naturalized citizen, when Donald Trump says that he wants to revoke whatever amendment it is, I should probably know. What
the 14th Amendment, which will never get done with an executive order.
Yeah, but listen, dude, no person in the GOP has stood up and said that's an amendment, we can't undo it.
Yes, plenty of people, not in the GOP, of course not. They don't want to contradict him
well, guess who's in power?
Yeah, but they don't want to contradict him a week before the fucking elections.
I guarantee they won't contradict him a week after the elections, or a year after the elections, or 2 years after the elections. They will go for him. Every single thing that Trump has proposed has been supported and bolstered by the GOP, if not mandated by the GOP. I mean, that's just facts, man. So when he says that he wants to get rid of that amendment, that's me, dude. I am a naturalized citizen. That means I get deported back to Pakistan.
You're not getting deported.
Dude, the world has been down this road before.
Over my dead fucking body will Imran Sheikh be deported.
Well, dude, listen, that's very nice, but...
You're my friend.
1,000 children were kidnapped, and you and I did nothing about it.
What?
The kids at the border, when they were separated from their parents.
I did. I watched a documentary and cried.
Exactly. So when people say, and God love you and God bless you for saying that and thinking that and intending that, but it's not going to happen, man. You're not going to walk into a camp with me. You're not going to stand in front of the plane to keep me from getting deported. And that's not saying anything about you. That's just reality. That's practicality. And I wouldn't want you to do that. Would I want you to vote? Yes.
I did.
That shit doesn't happen.
I did. So, I voted today.
So when he says stuff like that and the GOP supports him, yes, I take it personally because it literally is personal to me.
All right, now you're just making me dark and sad.
I mean, dude, it's the truth. That's the thing, right? For years and years and years, politics have been, should we raise the minimum wage $10 or $12? Does the economy work better if we put 20% of the money towards this or 22% of the money? That's stuff you can disagree with. But, dude, now it's people's lives. I'm sorry, but it is. And I hate to sound hyperbolic, but I'm not. Those 500 kids, I want anyone who says that A, both parties are the same, B, we're all going to be okay, it doesn't matter, we're just living our lives. I want those people to go down to wherever those kids are being held and tell it to them. These are real people's lives at stake here. Now, we're the middle class, right? So we're not going to get impacted as harshly as the lower classes or vulnerable people. But it's creeping, man. It's creeping up to us. And the middle class is shrinking day by day. And I'm sorry, but it's the GOP. It's all the GOP.
Don't you want to talk about, like, Spider-Man's webs and how fast he shoots it? And is it realistic? Or how can he have adamantium in his body from a spider? Like, stuff like that.
I never understood why in the films and in the comic they can't just make his web slinging a part of his wrist. Like, why not just have a little saccule organ thing grow inside his wrist that he should... Why is it gotta be artificial? Why is it gotta be a cartridge? You ever think about that, Greg?
Because he's a man that was only bitten by a spider. He didn't evolve from spider. Right. He can't possibly have it in his body. It's got to be an appendage.
Well, here's the thing. He can climb walls. Now, the reason why he can climb walls is because he grows little hook-like fibers on his skin, on his fingertips and toes, presumably, that allow him to climb up the wall. So if he can grow that, he can certainly grow a little organ.
Yeah, right. Well, then I say give Spider-Man time, man. Give him time. Give him time to evolve,
No, but he's able to evolve the wall crawling immediately. Why can't he evolve the web slinging immediately?
No. That's a suit. He's got, like, little suction cups on his suit, I thought.
No. It's from his fingertips.
Well, I don't know. You got me there.
Yeah. All right. Okay,
good.
Moving along.
Moving on, yeah.
So, we were talking about Gambit, my favorite X-Man.
I don't know who that is.
Wolverine. He's a raging Cajun. He wears a trench coat, and he carries a bow staff around, which is made out of metal.
God, you sound so cool talking about this.
Wolverine and Gambit don't get along. Why do you think that is, Greg?
I think Wolverine, probably because he's had his own movies made about him, and where Gambit is like this little nothing that's always wanted movies made about him.
Ho. Gambit is not a little nothing. Let's not say things we can't take back.
Okay. I've already said I don't know who Gambit is. Okay.
Well,
but obviously
that shows your ignorance, first off.
He doesn't have the fame that Wolverine has. And so,
why?
When
he's a way better mutant. He can blow stuff up. His power is to, like, touch something, charge, and it's not, he can control it. It's not even like whatever he touches blows up. He touches what he wants. He can touch stuff. Now, he's not like Rogue. Rogue can't touch another human being for fear of sapping their energy. She's a literal succubus.
Is that, what's her butt, the girl from, what's her name?
Yeah, now, here's the thing. Yeah, I'm getting more papers. I'm getting more,
Go ahead.
A whole file of topics that you've restricted me from talking about. Here's the thing about that, right?
Yeah.
Let me just get this in order here. Rogue in the films was represented by a very hot, very young Anna Paquin.
Thank you.
Now, Rogue is supposed to be a sultry temptress. Let me rephrase. An of-age sultry temptress. Why do you think they made that switch in the X-Men movie?
I think Anna Paquin is a sultry temptress.
Whoa, easy there, Greg.
When she's over 18.
Yeah, but she wasn't over 18 in the film.
Yes, she was.
I mean, she may have been, but she wasn't supposed.
The actress was, and so therefore I was able to find her sultry.
So if you jerked off to it, you're in the clear.
Right.
I just want to make that clear.
Right.
If you, while watching X-Men, got a little woody and you kind of rubbed yourself a little bit while watching the film in theaters, and maybe you ejaculated a little bit, that doesn't mean you committed an illegal act.
No, I can't control pre-cum.
You can't.
That's why they call it pre-cum.
Nor should you.
No.
But let's not get distracted here.
Yeah.
Why do you think they chose to make her younger and not as sexual as the comic book character, Greg?
Imran, I think that is a question for another day.
Okay, you don't want to answer the hard-hitting questions. Let's see if I can find something easy for you here, Gregg.
Yeah. Why do you ask me these questions?
I don't know if you know how to have a conversation with someone, but usually you do it by asking them a question. They give you an answer. You then tell them they're wrong, and then you debate it for hours.
Is this all you get fired up about is comic books, pussy, and politics? Is that like the Imran 3? Is that what... I almost called you Imrak, which I think may be a better choice of a name for you. Imrak.
Greg, we're not. Greg, yeah. See, again, you're veering into topics that no one wants to hear about.
Sorry about that.
No one wants to hear about my raison d'etre. No one wants to know
what?
My 3. You heard me.
Don't speak French. It's annoying, and we all know what you're trying to do. Go ahead.
Let's stick on topic if we can, please.
Yeah, go ahead. You're the host.
Now, Professor X, he's a polarizing figure for some people, not for me.
Well,
do you think...
It's good to know that, yeah.
I mean, if this motherfucker can make a hover wheelchair for himself, why isn't he making it for everyone else? He could become a quadrillionaire. He could be bigger than Bill Gates.
90,000 votes separate
Gillum
from DeSantis right now at this point. 90,000.
Greg, he lost by a whopping margin because people are dumb, and they're dumb. I don't know what else to tell you,
Only
man.
97% are in. It's not 100%. They have not called the state. So...
no, it's done. It's game over. Gillum lost.
No, they have not called the state. I'm going over to Fox News to see if they call it.
Oh, good. That's gonna be a ray of sunshine.
Well, I mean, you get a balanced look. It's not just CNN who's clearly rooting for the Democrats.
Are you serious? Did you just say Fox News? You're trying to get a rise out of me, aren't you?
I'm saying I want to see what the right is reporting. I want to see where they're at, how they report things. I did this on election night 2 years ago, too. I wanted to see what the right was saying and how they were acting. And you could see the fucking glee in their face. And just they were bubbly when the state started turning fucking red for Trump.
State TV, man. I'll tell you what, one thing we need besides better civics education in this country is to get rid of Fox News. That needs to end.
There's a whole network that was created by the Republicans.
Yeah, Fox News.
No, it's not. It's a new news network. And it was on at my old bagel shop that I used to go to every day back in the day. And I forget what the name of it was, but I was watching it, and I'm like, what the fuck channel am I watching right now? And it seemed like this government channel. It had hawks and, like, crests and the imaging, all over the fucking screen. And it was pure right-wing Republican fucking news.
Well, what do you think Fox News is?
I get it, but it wasn't Fox News. That's my point, brother.
That's the problem. At least that channel was overtly Republican news. Fox News' problem is that it plays itself as a legit news organization when it is literally party propaganda. I mean, Rupert Murdoch is a right-wing nut job, and he has crafted this network to be subversively propaganda for the right wing. And since they're in office right now, since they're in power right now, it's their propaganda channel. It's state TV, man. He gets his Donald Trump gets his marching orders from Fox News. And again, not my opinion. This is straight fact. You can look at it side by side. You can look at things that they talk about on Fox News, and then you can look at his tweets immediately after they talk about them. Sometimes he uses the same wording.
Oh, I believe it. I mean, yeah, you're preaching to the choir. Anyway. Americans asked Google who to vote for. Like, people literally asked Google who they should vote for.
There's a thing that Bill Maher talked about, and I know Bill Maher is a sore subject a lot of times, and he can be, but when he's right, he's right. A while ago, when Obama was running, he had this bit about independence, and he was like, why are we allowing the fate of our nation in the hands of independents? We shouldn't be lauding these people. They're morons. If they can't figure out who to vote for this late in the game, they're idiots. You can't tell the difference between a Republican and a Democrat?
Yeah.
Are you really that dumb? You can't choose? Ken Bone, when he was, popularized by people, I had nothing but... People were like, oh, he's cute, he doesn't know who to vote. I had nothing but contempt for him. Because I was like, you're an idiot. You're a fucking moron.
Who the fuck is Ken Bone besides the coolest fucking name I've ever heard?
Oh, Ken Bone was during one of the debates between Hillary and Donald Trump. Ken Bone was I think it was the middle debate. They had people in the gallery ask questions, and Ken Bone asked the question, and he said, as an independent, blah, blah, blah. I don't even remember his question. But, he was a funny-looking dude. He was a little rotund. He was wearing, this bright red
sweater. His name was Ken Bone?
Ken Bone, yeah.
Fucking, I'm going to change my name to Bone. Gregg Bone.
Greg, can you...
Gregg Bone on the beach. Hey, what's up, gang? Okay. It's 102.7 The Beach. Gregg Bone with you. It's the Bone Shake Show. Hey, everybody, I'm Gregg Bone, my co-host, Imran Sheikh. I think we gave him the money's worth once again, episode 39.
All right. I mean, I have more Wolverine topics.
Yeah,
if you want.
Why don't you look through your papers for a rule called the Rule of Three? Okay, champ. I think we're at number 5. I feel like we did the 3. Didn't we do the 3? Imran, please.
Technically, we only did the 2.
All right, bring it. Close it out. Stick the landing. I think you're going to be the host from now on. We just got to control what you bring up because it can't all be about Wolverine and X-Men.
Listen, Don't ask me to take the reins if you're not ready to get on the sleigh.
Well, just by taking the reins, Imran,
Don't
No.
Don't feed me gravy and punch me in the balls, man.
Okay. See, if my brain were a little crisper and fresh, I would have a good comeback and a funny. But I'm not funny. I'm not funny, Imran. Greg Bone is not funny today.
You know what I suggest everyone do as we watch our democracy die and wither away tonight?
Stop talking like that. I can't handle it. I get really sad. I'm a super empath, Imran. I cannot handle everyone being sad.
Just jerk off.
Oh. No.
Or, DJ yourself. That's what the ladies do. They DJ themselves.
DJ?
Yeah, you scratch the record player. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. I call it knocking it about.
That's violent.
Like I say to Tom Hanks, I'm like, hey, sweetie, what'd you do? And seen each other for a couple of days. I'm like, did you knock yourself around downstairs? What'd you do to yourself? Did you give yourself a little knocking around down there? Like a couple of, knocking around.
Ladies and
knock
gentlemen.
Your nub. Knock your little thumb down there. The end of the pinky.
He's off the market, ladies and gentlemen. You had your chance.
Sorry, ladies. That's what you could have had. And some of you may have had it. You never know. Exes could be listening to this.
Could be listening to this.
You ever think about that?
Gosh.
You ever think about that? You ever so narcissistic that you sit there and think about who's secretly listening to your show just because they miss you?
The whole premise of me doing this show is that violinist girl listens to me. I mean, what are you talking about? Of course I do.
Oh, God.
I still think about that.
What?
Harlot.
Oh, you just call Violin Girl a harlot?
I mean,
finally, growth. It only took 39 episodes, but you're seeing You're seeing the trees through the forest, Imran.
No, I take it back. I can't stay mad at her.
Can I step in here to wrap things up because Greg's falling asleep?
Yeah, all right, Dr. Dr. Bill Phil, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, everybody. Thank you. Imran, I think you've made some real beautiful growth here today, and if you were here, I'd wrap my big bare arms around that short little squat frame of yours. And I'd hug you and I'd say it's okay. She is a harlot. And let it out.
Oh, whoa, Dr. Bill, Phil, Bill.
Let it out. Let's call strumpet, trollop, whore.
She's none of those things. She's a very beautiful, talented, smart woman who's very funny. I miss her humor the most, Dr. Bill, Phil.
All right, Imran. Could you... I hope maybe we've seen why she ghosted you. Did you happen to speak to her about the comic book quandaries that you had about Wolverine, and she just stared at you and thought, how quickly and which way is the exit, and how can I get far away from him, and when does he leave for Fort Myers? Did you do that on one of your dates, Imran?
I'm not.
That's a yes. That's a yes.
She always had. Listen, she always had things to do whenever I brought it up. It was just coincidence. It wasn't her fault. She left the oven on, or she had to wash
poor
her
Imran,
hair.
Man, he's living in denial.
Oh, you know what was really cute? She would turn up her sleeves whenever she was like getting hot. That would be her cooling system.
What the hell happened to her being a harlot?
She's not a harlot.
Where'd that come from?
I got a little angry because, she's taken a little long on this, like, separation thing, and she's dragging her feet on getting back together with me. So, I kind of wish she would speed it up a little bit, but, I respect her, obviously, and I wanted her to take her time.
I think you've marched into a territory that I like to call psychosomatic delusion. Psychosomatic delusion? Psychotropic, delusional wanderings. Okay.
All right.
And I
thanks for
suggest
Yeah.
2 Tylenol. Okay, Imran.
Well, there you have it. Thank you, Dr.
Okay.
Bill, Phil.
Yeah. What's that? Okay, yeah, I'm coming. Bye, everybody. I've got another session with the patient. You guys may want to pay me every once in a while and I'd give you real advice. But you bring me on here with your tomfoolery and your haberdashery, and you leave me no other option but to spit dreck, frankly. Okay, I'm coming. All right, bye, guys. See ya.
Well, this has been our election special, everybody. Hope wherever you are in the world, your rights are still intact. Bye.
Bye.
This is a production of Gregg Wiener Productions and Hollow Spirit Studios. For more information on our producers, go to hollowspiritstudios.com and go to thewienershakeshow.com. Please rate, review, and subscribe.